company is an economy of 40 billion shillings in Kakamega. Anybody coming to play around with it, using the money of farmers to buy a few MCAs to start supporting Mr. Rai is missing the point. Mr. Rai, I assure you from this floor that I'm going to protect you. Government will protect you to do your business in West Kenya. Please allow Sarbi to do his business in Mumias. There is no contradiction. I know you are unhappy because through the new law,
Senator Cheriot, what is your point of order?
Neighbors.
Mr. Speaker,
Neighbors.
I use this one. Mr. Speaker, because my good friend Senator Khalwale appears to be fairly knowledgeable in this matter that he is raising, would he perhaps, for the understanding of the rest of us, help explain the intricacies that you are reading about this complex relationship that he's trying to describe? You can see actually he's vowing on one side of his mouth that he will protect Mr. Rai because he's a big investor in his own county, while on the other hand admonishing him not to interfere with the operations of Mumias. What I have read in the papers, and the good majority whip can help us appreciate, is that Mumias Sugar Company is under receivership. That the receiver manager has allowed the man he's calling Sarai to run the sugar mill. But then they are insisting that because the other two businesses are unrelated to this one, they want to allow another player to run as well. That's what the media is reporting. Could he perhaps help us or even furnish the House with better information? Because we are all interested to see that town of Mumias grow to the levels that it used to be before Mumia Sugar Company went down. And it will be very exciting if actually that region and that industry was to come up. So I don't know, Senator Boni Khalwale will be better placed to educate us and inform us of what exactly is happening.
Senator Boni Khalwale, I hope you've understood the point of order raised by...
Yes.
If you could please clarify on that.
Thank you, Leader of Majority. That is exactly the point. The mischief by the newspaper was lack of clarity. But the clarity is as follows. There is enough cane for West Kenya to mill and support the 24 billion economy in its area. Enough for Butali Sugar to mill and support the 10 billion economy. And enough for Mumias to support 40 billion because Mumias also uses Busia farmers. So they have got a bigger catchment area. Now, to run the ethanol plant, dear Kenyans, to run the ethanol plant, which is in Mumias, to run the Ecogen plant, which is in Mumias, you need raw materials. And those raw materials come from Mumias, the mill, the same mill, Mumia Sugar Company. Mr. Speaker, the ethanol plant, why we want Rai of West Kenya to keep off, is that the ethanol plant is in the same compound and in the same machine of Mumia Sugar Mills. The power generating plant similarly is in the same. The gate is one, the compound is one, the complex that produces these three things is one. So it is an administrative nightmare for the receiver manager to imagine that you can bring in two warring companies who are actually brothers to then have an opportunity to kill each other. We don't want to see Indians killing each other over our machine. We want to see Indians working over our machine. And Mr. Speaker, sir, this point is very important. It is not a question of impulse. It's a question that has been subjected to a decision of the High Court. The High Court has found that Rai has no entry point into Mumia Sugar Company because he had claimed that earlier on he had bought the ethanol and Ecogen plant. So when challenged in court to demonstrate that he bought, the only thing he could show was an agreement. Now, when challenged further, because an agreement can be drafted including on computers and River Road, when challenged to support that agreement with the actual payments that he made, he said he paid the money from Dubai and no evidence of bank transactions, and therefore the court ruled that RAI has no demonstrable interest in that company, and therefore ordered that Sarbi of Mumia Sugar Company to now proceed unhindered. So the only thing remaining is for this House to raise its voice, is for the national government to raise its voice so that there is peace in Kakamega. Mr. Speaker, since this problem started around 10 days ago, we have had 4 demonstrations by farmers who are pushing what I'm saying, and one occasion by MCAs who are carrying twigs, but they were chased away like dogs. I don't think they will try again. So, leader of my majority, it's now clear, and it's good for Kenya. You know why? Mumia Sugar Company in the last 12 months produced 100,000 tons. In the process, Kenya, which was being faced with a sugar deficit of 200,000 metric tons, Mumia by itself, 50% of that shortage, it cut it off. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, the other factories then contributed to the extent that we have not imported sugar this time. So it is not something you can interfere with. And what's more, West Kenya Sugar, Mumia Sugar Company, on Thursday, pays 194 million shillings to our farmers per week, every Thursday. You want me to keep quiet so that people who receive 194 million shillings in Kakamega can be shortchanged due to the greed of Sarbi, of RAI? We know RAI. RAI sneaked into Webuye Sugar Company, and Wakoli is here. Not Mumia Sugar. He sneaked into Pan Paper and cheated that he would revive Pan Paper. Today there is no Pan Paper. It is now being used. It was used shamefully last year for the fake fertilizer as storage. That is how RAI wants to do his business. The same RAI is the one who led to the collapse of the timber industry. You all remember, people of Washington Gishu, the RAI ply fiasco. We can't allow business people of this type. Mr. Speaker, it's starting to look good. The president appears to understand sugarcane farming. We will keep on giving him information like I'm doing now for him to continue making decisions with clarity, because it is after I fed him with this kind of accurate information that he came up with the statement of Mambo Matatu. Yes, we were with you on that rally. And after he said Mambo Matatu, the same RAI quickly ran out of court, and this is how the sugar factory has become profitable. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. President. Receive the greetings of the people of Kakamega. There's like a small boy. Mr. President, there is a young man in Kakamega who you allowed the privilege to be a minister despite his limitations. He is the one who is being used to cause confusion by RAI. RAI, please, Rashid is not our leader. Rashid Mohammed cannot be our leader. Rashid has no competence to lead Dr. Boni Khalwale. No. If farmers have a choice, they know who to ask. You cannot kill our industry. You are killing us. You are killing our women. You are killing our children. Mr. Speaker, sir.
Senator Keroche Tabitha.